Beehive Sports Podcast is powered by Swing Juice. Visit swingjuice.com. Use promo code Beehive20 for 20% off your golf and MLB PA apparel. I am back.
You are.
I am back. And we're going to get into my trip because I got a lot to tell Sketty that I haven't told him yet about the courses and such. It's an awesome trip. So we'll get into that. And the Astros, world champs. Never had any doubt. You guys were talking shit last week because they were down 2-1. No big deal. No hit them the next night. Moving on. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Local shout-outs like always. Buzz and Buzz killed, and we're going to get into what week's coming up? 10? Is it week 10?
Yeah, week 10.
Week 10? Yep. Reality. Well, technically it would be week 9 overreactions and reality, though. But we're going into week 10. Sports history, we're going to do the Veterans Day edition, and I'm going to list 5 notable athletes who were also veterans. So that's going to be sports history, Sketty on, Jim Irsay, and the Colts. Things that sting. We got some follow-up to the Brian Robinson shooting, the Washington Commanders running back who got shot. Just started playing, a couple weeks ago. He's back. 4 weeks, I think he missed. And then got a couple in new cases to talk about, 2 there. And then in My Hive, we will be welcoming on again our boy, Chris. Won't you take me down to Bunkie Town, representing Eisenhower Knights, playoff game Saturday. We're going to pack the house. At least I'm trying to make that happen. Give the Knights some support. And then we will get into week 10 3-bagger. And that'll wrap up the show.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? No.
Welcome to the Beehive Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Joe and Sketty.
This is brought to you by Busch Light Attention Hunters. Your favorite camo cans are back. Get it wherever you purchase your adult beverages. Please drink responsibly. And Napoli's Pizza. That's right. When there's football season on TBSP, there's Napoli's weekly specials, pickup or delivery available, located in North Warren. And Hillview Signs and Graphics, Hillview Towing, 814-730-0348. Get into a comment right away. Andy, Sketty has a door. See, I wasn't the only one who noticed.
I would have had a door last week if I didn't have to write for the show.
Good-looking door.
It's a good-looking door. They're all done now.
I think it's helped with the acoustics a little bit in that room, too.
No, it might be more echoey now. Sounds echoey to me. I don't know.
It's a little echoey, but you gotta hang. Have you hung anything on the walls yet? What's that pile of shit behind you?
No, just pile of shit.
Oh, okay.
Her office stuff. Yeah, no, there's nothing on the walls. It's no carpet, nothing. Echoey. That's what we got for now.
You need to get it together.
Yeah.
All right, so Myrtle Beach. Well, first of all, before we get to Myrtle Beach, last week's show. I want to thank Andy for coming on. Sketty, You did do a good job. I'm glad that you did notice that it is difficult to navigate conversation and banners and music. And, we do all of that. People probably don't realize it. They, live show listeners probably maybe notice that. Like they understand that that's what's going on. But I'm clicking through banners in this tab that says brand. That's where all the music's at. And the commercials and such. And so you're going through all that. Then you see some comments, you're clicking up there. There's a lot going on. So that was a nice text you sent me when you said kudos to you. Cause that is, it's a lot harder than it looks, but once you get used to it, I feel like I'm pretty used to it, but I still fuck up. I still will leave a banner up during a commercial or whatever, something,
Yeah. Well, luckily we didn't have any comments cause that would have really thrown me for a loop last week.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. I don't know why. No, that's not. That's 100% not it. I don't understand why. Because you had the ad up, people knew. I mean, but the audio downloads are through the roof for that episode. unless Andy's just listening to himself on repeat. I don't.
That could be.
He just listens to it every day. Every day he drives to work, driving home, listen to it again. I don't know, but yeah, no, audio downloads are great for that episode. So, maybe they just didn't want to see
viewers or not. Yeah, don't blame them.
Well, you do have a face for radio.
That's correct. That's
all right. So, as I said, I'm back. Everybody obviously is aware of that by now. Myrtle Beach went for a week. It was an absolute blast. The courses down there, they call Myrtle Beach the golf capital of the world. I was unaware of that. Golfed at 4 courses out of the however many's down there. We golfed at Wild Wing, which I sent you pictures from that day one because that was where I saw the gator, the big gator too. It was no like little shit gator. It was the real deal gator.
All gators are too big.
Well, there's some that I think are smaller, right? Like I've seen ones like when I went to Hilton Head, I saw some that were smaller than that one. That was a massive fucking gator, but we got relatively close to it, not too close. You know, I'm like, I'll be a little daring, but I'm not gonna get in his personal space, which I believe to be a radius of like 50 feet.
Yeah, I think that's too close for me.
That's fair though, right?
Yeah.
So got a good picture of that. I don't even know if I put that on the podcast page. I think I just put it on my personal page, but the gator was cool. Wild Wing was pretty nice. Day one, Wild Wing, the thing that I learned, because this is my first time hitting off Bermuda grass. So their rough isn't like rough, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Like it's that spongy Bermuda grass that's like it, but it's different. Like hitting off of that is completely different than any like golf swing I've ever taken because I'd never hit off of it before. I assumed I want to, the ball seems like it's sitting pretty low. You would hit it like you normally would. But that wasn't the case. It turns out this stuff is so spongy that it still actually fluffs the ball a little bit. Like I would argue hitting out of the rough down there is easier than it is up here.
Potential. It's probably nicer.
It's like kind of lofted, honestly. Like, you have to know that, which I didn't in the first round, and I just took divots all over the place, and it was a lot of fat shots. But like once I figured that out, like I started just crushing irons from the rough. Like it was not that hard. I mean, you just take a little, raise your swing about this far off the ground, and you're just striking ball basically. So you can really hit some good shots out of the rough. But day 2 was Grand Dunes. That was the hardest course, I think, of the 4. Some of the guys I golfed with disagreed. The putting was insane. Like it was probably the fastest greens I've ever played. Chipping was really difficult because you really had to land it short of the pin and let it, work its way there because they were really, really fast. So that was a tough course. World Tour was my favorite of the 4. World Tour, which, hold on, I'm going to pull this up because I wanted to explain it to you a little bit better. Let me see. It's right here, maybe. Yeah. Okay. So this is it. So I got to enlarge this so I can see. So the purpose of this course is it's actually 27 holes. There's the Open 9, the Championship 9, and the International 9. We played the Open and the Championship. We did not play the International 9. But every hole is designed to mimic a hole from a famous course or a famous hole from a course, whatever you want to call it. So, like for example, hole 1 and 9 on the Open 9 were St. Andrews 1 and 18, shared fairway. They had the stone bridge. That was the only hole that you could not. Those 2 holes you couldn't take your cart out into the fairway because there's people, coming both ways. But so that was really cool. And then let me see here. I think it was on the back. What's the nickname for Augusta 11, 12, and 13?
Amen Corner.
Amen Corner. They had that. So Amen Corner was there. That was holes 4, 5, and 6 on the championship 9. And let me think of the other one. There was some cool island greens. There was, which one was that? TPC at Sawgrass. Does that sound right?
17. Yep.
Yeah, island green. That one was really cool. They had a par 3 that we did. Let me see if I can figure out which one that is. It's like a postage stamp par 3. Maybe Royal Troon. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep.
Where like the walking path is mowed into high grass in front of it. Does that sound right?
Yep.
Okay. So I learned a lot because I don't really watch a ton of golf to know like Amen Corner and that kind of stuff. Kyle, of course, was like on it, like he picked up on everything he saw. And it was really cool. But some of the other courses there was holes from was Oakmont, number 14, Augusta, number 16, Colonial, number 12, English Turn, number 15, Pinehurst, number 2. Or no, I'm sorry, Pinehurst, number 16. Yeah, Pinehurst, number 16. I took a picture of the scorecard because that was the only way I knew I'd be able to remember all of that stuff. But yeah, so it was really neat. And that was a place that, like, I felt made it worth it. And telling some people about it, they were like, wow, like that sounds like a really cool course to play. And then the last course we played was called Pine Lakes, which was nicknamed the Granddaddy. Everybody kept calling it that. I had no idea why. So when I went to the pro shop, I was talking to the guy and I asked him because they had like hoodies that said like just Granddaddy on it. And I was like, what the fuck, So yep. Pine Lakes was the very first golf course in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, nice.
And it's the home of the Myrtle Beach Golf Hall of Fame, which has inductees like Hootie and the Blowfish and Dustin Johnson, because he golfed at Coastal, which I didn't know that. Coastal Carolina.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Coastal Carolina is in Myrtle Beach. Kind of going off topic for a minute. We're pissed because Thursday night we went out to watch the World Series and Thursday Night Football, and on a TV right next to that, Coastal Carolina had a home game against Appalachian State, which we were like, shit, we would have totally got tickets to that and went had we known. So it's something I should have paid attention to, because that would have been cool to see that field and everything.
Right.
But yeah, so Dustin Johnson's in the Golf Hall of Fame there. Hootie and the Blowfish is in it. Probably people are like, why? The reason they're in it is because Monday after the Masters, big fundraiser. They call it the MAM.
Okay.
And they're like a big part of that. And it's a huge golf fundraiser for Myrtle Beach. So they inducted them into the Hall of Fame. Also, fun fact about Pine Lakes, Sports Illustrated was actually founded at a meeting that took place at Pine Lakes. So like 1954 or something. But yeah.
You should have had Sports History Pine Lakes.
I should. Yeah, there's a lot there. There really is. I mean, it's been around a long time. So, but yeah, it was cool. Played golf. Well, didn't play golf with, but the hospitality room, dinner and everything. A bunch of guys from NYPD who were really cool. Met some Canadian Mounties. That was pretty neat. Federal Reserve PD, which I asked them if they could maybe like get them to stop printing money. They said no, but that was worth a shot, to just maybe cut down that inflation a tad if we just quit printing and giving away. But yeah, it didn't work. But yeah, it was just cool. A lot of different PDs from across the country, people from Colorado. I mean, they're from all over the place, Massachusetts. So it was fun, but good to be back. Sadly, when I was gone, Asher had a double ear infection and hand, foot, and mouth.
Oh, geez, good times.
One may say I left at a good time, but I would say I left at a bad time because I felt bad because Devin was getting worked over by him, So it was, yeah. So I got home actually a day early, changed the flight around and got home a day early so that I could help with that. But
nice.
All right, so real quick, we got to get into this. Obviously, Astros full season World Series champs. Darren, if you're unaware of what that means, it means they played an entire 162-game schedule plus playoffs, not just a 60-game season and playoffs like the Dodgers. So this is what a full season championship looks like. Dusty, Is that like the only reason some people are happy the Astros won? If they're looking for a silver lining, I think it's
I would assume so.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I saw, because it was the world against Houston, which I kind of embraced. I like that a little bit. I wore some Astros gear down there. Nobody really said anything to me, but yeah, I think Dusty, he was the winningest coach without a ring, and that is no more. So that's good. He just re-signed today, so he's coming back another year. Dusty wants more, he said. One's not enough.
Good team, why not?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't think that they really aren't losing too many people. So, and they're working to get Verlander back, which is big. But no hitter in Game 4 was kind of, I think, the momentum shifter. Would you agree with that also?
Yeah, it would appear so, because
getting
no shellac Game 3. Yeah.
Getting no hit in the World Series is brutal.
Yep,
that sucks. Like that's I just can't think of much more than that would, take the wind out of your sails as much as that really would. So go Astros. Baseball's over. That's kind of shitty, but football, more football. They're playing on Tuesdays now.
Perfect.
All right, local shout outs. Eisenhower football. Obviously, we aren't going to get too much into that because coming up in my hive is Chris Bunk, so that's when we're going to talk about the game coming up this weekend. The neutral site chosen was Warren, which is awesome. So Warren versus Eisenhower versus Cambridge Springs at War Memorial Field. They did play once this season. Eisenhower won 27-14. That was a September 2nd or something, early September game. I think it was like week 2 on their schedule or something like that. So, but we'll get into that more in my hive when Chris comes on. PIAA cross country championships. Cheyenne Rulander, Morgan Alexander, and Sam Lindell. They headed down to states. Girl runners, there was 244 total. Cheyenne finished 50th out of that group, which is pretty badass. Morgan finished 123rd, so she's still, had over 100 people cruising behind her, which is pretty solid also. Boy runners, there was 247. Sam Lindell finished 65th. I believe his 18-minute time, it was 18 and some change, which is not his best that he ran this year, if I remember correctly, because we were kind of watching him because he smoked some fools, I don't know, like a month ago or something like that. So I don't think it was his best time, but he's still 65th in the states, pretty solid out of a crew of 247. Warren Volleyball lost their D10 AAA title match against Conneaut in 4 sets. Good news is they only have 2 seniors that are moving on from from that squad. So they're returning a lot of experience coming back, into next year. So I think that's looking good for Warren Volleyball. Warren Girls Soccer hosted Plum in a playoff game yesterday, 8-0 loss. They have 6 seniors moving on. I actually read that article. Coach Bickling said that this group of girls is actually the group who he came up with coaching, probably like Kinzu, travel soccer, whatever. So that's, a bummer for him. That was his crew coming through. So hopefully, he gets some new talent and can work with that. Last thing I have, Derek Hahn of Warren swimming. Did you see this?
Yeah,
I did. Swimming at West Virginia University Tech. WVU Tech is the AAC, which is like Appalachian Athletic Conference, I think. Swimmer of the week posted 2 individual first place finishes and 1 second place finish in a meet against Shawnee State. Won the 200 fly. The 100 fly took second in the 100 back and helped the 400 medley relay team to a 3rd place showing. So this is the first weekly honor of the season for him. So that's pretty cool. He's a freshman. So that's, I'd say, a solid start, right?
Yeah,
trending
absolutely.
in the right direction. All right, what do you have anything you need to add?
You got nothing. Nope.
You're feeling good this week because I had to do all the shit, right?
Absolutely. Sit back and relax.
All right, buzz and buzzkill. What's got you buzzing this week?
Just got a bunch of stuff done around the house. Feels good to kind of have most of the big projects done, and now I can kind of hopefully not completely relax, but relax a little bit. Don't need to be working from the time I get up till the time I go to bed to get things livable.
That's not bad. Yeah, time to relax is good. You got the weekend coming up. We got plans Saturday.
Yep. That's gonna be first weekend's gonna be busy. So next week will be the real. I'm gonna do nothing. I'm gonna do a whole lot of nothing.
My buzz, I already talked about it. Astros winning the World Series. It's 6 straight ALCSs since 2017 and 2 World Series trips, which they lost to Washington and Atlanta. So it's nice for them to not start some sort of Buffalo Bills streak that would have just probably started eating at me mentally a little bit.
Yep.
So happy to see that. What's killing your buzz?
Well, I just remembered I got to take out the temporary vanity that I've got upstairs. Got to do that tonight after the show. So that'll be a whole ton of fun. New vanity's coming tomorrow, so that's got to be done. Totally forgot about it. Was going to do it before the show. So happy we brought it up. Not something I'm going to want to deal with at 9 o'clock at night.
So you're doing that tonight then?
Yeah, got to be done because I don't know what time they're coming tomorrow. And I need her to help me carry it down. So, yeah, it'll be good.
My buzz kill for the week is Josh Allen's elbow. However, we got good news today. He's day-to-day, and it's a sprain. There's no bad damage to the nerves or anything like that. So for that, I just want to thank little 8-pound, 6-ounce newborn infant Jesus. Don't even know a word yet for helping Josh through that, because if Tommy John were like what was happening, I would have quit the show. I wouldn't even want to talk about football for probably till he's healthy. My happiness revolves around him right now. So we're speaking of him. Here's what we're going to get. Oh, hold on, because we're starting right up with it. Okay. Starting right into it. Reality over reaction. The Bills suck.
Well, they suck as an overreaction, but they're not the world beaters we thought they were. This Bills team at the gate, I thought, hey, man, this is it. All the hype is for real. And then kind of seems like even after just the Titans game, I believe, they've just kind of looked not bad, but they haven't
beat the
looked
shit out
like
of Pittsburgh.
Well, yeah, it's Pittsburgh. It's Pittsburgh.
Still.
That's
the Titans game.
Yeah, well, okay. So, yeah, but, they still only scored 38 points on them. When they put up on the Titans, like a billion?
41.
Yeah, see.
3 points.
I don't know. Titans are second seed in the NFC or the AFC. The Steelers are like 2 and I don't even know. 6.
Titans were 0-2 at that point.
Yeah, and then they turned it around.
Like I told you they were going to.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. We're still doubting the Titans?
Major doubt on the Titans. The Bills
division's trash. How are they not going to win that division?
Oh, they'll win the division.
I'm not saying they're going to
win the division. It's not good. Yeah.
Well, right. Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to go in and clean house in the AFC playoffs, but
we're going to cover that a little bit later. But yeah, their only competition in the division is just an absolute shit wreck right now. But
correct.
Yeah, no, I just don't think the Bills suck. I still think they're good. They're still a top 3 team, but I don't think they are the clear-cut Super Bowl favorites anymore, like people are making them out to be.
I put this on here because I said those 3 words probably 50 to 75 times on Sunday.
The only thing you should feel that about is that vaunted number 1 run defense in the NFL. Number 1 run defense.
Getting gashed.
2 weeks in a row, they've been exposed a little bit. Yeah. Which I think to me, the weird thing with the Bills is the offense just hasn't looked as dynamic as it did those first, 3-4 weeks.
No, something's not right.
Yeah, it's defensively, they are what they've always been, I think. Offensively, it seems to be the issue in my eyes.
All right. Reality or overreaction? It's time to bench Aaron Rodgers.
Man, I think that's an overreaction simply because you just paid the man a fucking boatload of money. Like, you can't bench him now. You should have just not re-signed him and said, hey, thanks for coming out and winning 2 MVPs. shit situation they're in. But yeah, I don't think you can bench him. That's a little bit of an overreaction.
I agree. I mean, if you're really looking like you're just like, hey, let's just get Jordan Love some experience. Yeah. If that's your motive, then at least I understand that. But to just do it to say because he's not playing well, I mean, he did have a really bad game against the Lions.
Yep, he did.
It was a bad game, but that's probably the first really bad game he's had in 3 years. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's one of those things where if it's get to the point where you're eliminated from playoff contention and then you want to see what Jordan Love has, I get it. Right. But Jordan Love it's not time to switch to Jordan Love and see what your season's going to be like. That's
right.
Unless you're just admitting right now you're not going to make the playoffs and you're punting the season away, then yeah, okay, do it. But I just think that's a mistake.
This is a good one. Geno Smith deserves a long-term extension.
I'm going to say this is an overreaction as well. It depends on what your definition of long-term is. I mean, I think I would definitely try and bring him back for a year, maybe 2 years, but I don't think I'd be inking Geno to a 5-year deal or anything right now. I still, the Seahawks are winning games, but who have they beat? Who is their best win? I
couldn't tell you.
The 49ers absolutely fucking drubbed them and wasn't even close. And the only touchdown, I think, came on a blocked field goal. I mean, they got absolutely demolished by the Niners.
Let's take a peek.
I mean, you just pulled out a win against the Cards. You beat the Giants 2 weeks ago, who the Giants are kind of one of those, no, I don't want to say pretender teams, but they were finding ways. They weren't world beaters. I don't see a signature win for this team. I think I don't think they're a bad team either, but they're just not. I don't think we're inking into a 7-year deal. I'd bring them back for 2-3 year deal maybe.
They lost to some pretty bad teams. I mean, they've won 4 straight, so that's what probably people are getting a boner about. I guess
they got hot. Yep.
But they've lost to some bad teams. They lost to the Saints.
Beat the Broncos.
They lost to the Falcons. Got beat by 20 by San Fran. I don't know. I want to see what his what's his numbers.
I mean, he's been really good. He's been really good. It'll be interesting to see what happens against
15
Tampa Bay
TDs, 4 picks. I guess that's not too bad.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens against Tampa this week. See if if Tampa recovers, or B, if you could actually hang in there against. Which I don't think Tampa's great, but can you stare down Tom Brady and go beat him right now? Which they should be able to beat this team. If you lose this Bucs, this is a bad loss because they look better than the Bucs do right now.
Reality or overreaction? The Dolphins will win the AFC East.
I mean, it depends on how Josh Allen's elbow is. I think that defense is kind of suspect, but and I don't know that the Dolphins are going to win the AFC East. I do know that they are going to make the playoffs, and they could spell some big trouble in the AFC because they could put up points in a hurry. Defense gets hot for a game, the other quarterback plays bad. You're going to have a little struggle with this team.
They're not as good, but similarly structured Chiefs from a few years ago, where their defense will allow 35 points, but they'll score 38.
Yeah. I mean, again, it just depends. If that defense gets hot, though, and you never know with the acquisition of Bradley Chubb, maybe things just kind of gel for them.
They did not last.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, early, and a lot of that was Justin Fields just somehow doing what he does from time to time and getting out of just
getting people all is what he's doing. Now he had that game and everybody's back on the holy shit. This kid, he's going to be unreal.
He had more yards rushing than he did passing. Fucking Colin Kaepernick 2.0. He's going to start taking a knee next season or some shit. I don't see it. I don't think he's this guy, but whatever.
Reality or overreaction? The Vikings are the Eagles' biggest competition.
Complete overreaction. Unless San Francisco gets 10 more guys on stretchers, the Niners are the biggest competition in the NFC. I think this Vikings team is. Well, I do. I've been on the Vikings. I like them. I think they're a good team, but I just don't think they're on the same level as the Eagles or the Niners, honestly.
Reality or overreaction? The Raiders need an overhaul.
I don't know why we're even asking this. This is that's facts. That's facts. A complete and total overhaul.
Yeah, from front office down.
Oh yeah, it's
all the way down
to
the long snapper. Get him the fuck out of there too.
Cut them all.
It's weird. The leads they've blown this year. Did you see that number come up where it's like
I have not.
3 games they've led either at halftime or sometime in the third quarter by like 14 or more, and every one of those games they've lost.
Yep. I mean, I feel bad. There's talent on this team, but man, they just cannot.
Tons of talent.
And in fairness to them, if you get an actual coach, we'll see what happens. But you can't throw McDaniel out in there and with this talent think that's what's going to happen.
Andy says, "Is anyone on the Niners level in Sketty's eyes?" No,
they're kind of in a tier all by themselves. There's a couple better teams, and a bunch of worse teams.
All right. Reality overreaction. Joe Mixon is a top 5 running back.
I think this is an overreaction. He's close, but I don't think he's a top 5. I think I'm still taking McCaffrey, Barkley, Henry, Cook, probably Kamara on a better team. I just think
he cost me a fantasy win this week. I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, he cost me 2 of them. I faced him in both leagues that I have. I was playing guys that owned.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. That's right.
Yeah, so great times. I was really pumped about that. But yeah, no, I mean, Joe Mixon's been really solid. He's just not. I just don't think he's that level of top 5. That's a stretch to me.
All right,
top 10 for sure.
This one, I'm gonna. It's like a 2-part question, okay? And I just want you to give me yeses or nos because I feel like this is gonna come into play on Sketty on, and I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to blow Sketty on because I had this up before. So 2-part question: reality or overreaction? But we'll just say yes or no. The Colts made the right moves. 1, firing Frank.
I'm gonna say, that's a tough one. I'd say the verdict's out on that. I'm really not sure if you had to give you an answer. I'd probably say yes, but I think it's closer than what people think.
Okay, part 2. The Colts made the right move, hiring Jeff Saturday.
No. And I like Jeff Saturday. No.
He's never called a play in his career.
We'll get into it in Sketty on, but just
copy.
No.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to dive too much because when you told me
I got
what Sketty on was going to be, I was like, okay, so we need to dial back that one. That way, we don't ruin it. So,
yep.
That's it. Do you have anything else for the buzz that you need to get off your chest?
I don't think so. I think we covered all the big NFL stuff. We didn't really talk about Brady and the Rams. I'm surprised we didn't have nothing about that. I thought is Tom back? I thought that would be a question.
2 shitbag teams. What the hell would we talk about?
Well, I don't know. Everybody else is screaming that Brady's back this week now after he barely beat the Rams.
He led a game-winning drive. He couldn't get in the end zone the entire game, and then whatever.
Yeah. I mean, in his defense, there were quite a few drops that game because I had Mike Evans on my fantasy team, and he had at least 6 himself. There was a stat where they said, "Oh, the Bucs have 6 drops tonight." And I said, "That's not accurate because Mike Evans has about 8 right now by himself. There's no way that's an actual number." But yeah, just 2 garbage teams.
That's why I was like, "There's nothing to talk about."
Yeah, you got it. I just thought you would throw it out there, but yeah, okay, we're in agreement. 2 garbage teams.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
We'll talk about them another time if they become less trashy.
I like it.
All right. The Buzz is brought to you by Busch Light. Attention hunters, your favorite camo cans are back. Get it wherever you purchase your adult beverages. Please drink responsibly. And Napoli's Pizza. That's right. When there is football season on TBSP, there is Napoli's weekly specials, pickup or delivery available, located in North Warren. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with This Week in Sports History.
Whenever you crack open a Busch Light, the mountain starts singing.
It's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you.
What is going on?
Hit it, Giant Kenny G.
It's so smooth.
Head for the mountains of Busch. Light beer.
Hungry? Watching the game? Order some Napoli's Pizza, voted the best pizza in the Times Observer Reader's Choice every year. Homemade, hand-tossed, delicious hot pizza, stromboli, salads, subs, and so much more. Located in North Warren, come on in or call 814-723-7455 and ask about our specials. Pickup or delivery available 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Again, that's 814-723-7455.
Hi, this is Brian Hagberg, and I wanted to take a moment and tell you about our new website, yourdailylocal.com. Your Daily Local is your new home for news, sports, and events in Warren County and beyond. Our goal is to cover the people, places, events, and happenings that matter to you in a variety of ways, including writing, video, and audio. And the best part? All of our content is available for free. Head to yourdailylocal.com to get the news you need when you need it.
Let's take a look back at this week in sports history.
Week in Sports History is brought to you by Your Daily Local. Visit yourdailylocal.com for the news you need when you need it. This Friday, Veterans Day.
Yep.
Did you know that?
I did know that.
You're full of shit. Now you know that. Now you know that.
Bank's not open. I got to do all my bank work tomorrow because it's Veterans Day.
All right.
Veterans Day is probably one of my most despised holidays ever. Not because it's a bad cause, but because the amount of people who ask for free shit on Veterans Day is just absolutely insane.
You don't give them free shit?
No, I do not give free shit. Everybody gets the veterans discount. Everyone gets it.
What's that? Like $4 chocolate milk? Or do you take it down to $3.50 on Veterans Day?
Upcharge.
$3.75.
$3.75 on Veterans Day. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It really in the service industry, absolute nightmare.
I could see that.
Well,
all right,
some people are cool, but other ones are just like people that join to get the free shit. Yeah,
free.
Exactly. Yeah,
all right.
Join to
I
get the
that.
free shit. Yeah.
So, Veterans Day, Friday, November 11th. This is Friday, 2 days from now. Important holiday. Gives a day to remember all the. Not remember because it's not Memorial Day. People confuse those. I almost just did, but I did not because I caught myself.
Saved it.
Gives you a chance to say thanks to a veteran. It's good. It's good. So what I did, because I've been trying to pair sports history with something relevant to the time of the current show, is I looked up, pretty well-known athletes who were also servicemen. So what I came up with, I'm going to list off 5 of them. The number one, or not in no particular order, by the way, but the first one on the list is David Robinson, the Admiral. Everybody knows the Admiral from the Spurs, 90s, great player, gold medalist. The Admiral was drafted in 1987 to the Spurs with the first overall pick. And the Spurs did that knowing that they had to wait for him to serve 2 tours with the Navy. So it's pretty, it's a solid move that to speak to his level of play. They drafted him knowing they weren't going to have him for an immediate impact, but clearly he made an impact. The dude was a stud. Second, Jackie Robinson accepted into officer candidate school and was with the first tank unit to see World War II combat. However, Jackie Robinson never got to combat because of a dispute he had with fellow servicemen that actually got him. I don't know if he was booted out, but I think it was kind of like, what's it called? Like Article 15 or whatever.
No.
I don't know if it was a dishonorable discharge, but he got released from military service without ever having saw combat. But still cool that he was, he got himself into that scenario to begin with. It says a lot about him. Number 3, Bob Feller. After his third straight 20-win season and the attack on Pearl Harbor, Feller enlisted in the Navy after the attacks. So he was a dominant pitcher and said, which you can go back and look at like a lot of baseball players at that time who were either drafted or enlisted, voluntarily left playing a professional sport. That is probably why they call those guys the greatest generation. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, because if this shit were to happen today, how many pro athletes do you think we'd see like leaving their millions and cushy lifestyle to go fight a war?
Not many.
Probably probably single digits.
Yes.
I would say single digits. Number 4, Rocky Bleier. Following his 1968 rookie season with the Steelers, he was drafted into the United States Army and volunteered for duty during Vietnam. Wounded in an ambush and hit by a grenade, Bleier received a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, and after being told he would never play football again, Bleier eventually made his way back to the Steelers and became Franco's backup and finished his career 4th on the Steelers' all-time rushing list. So that's pretty badass, too. I didn't know that about that dude.
Yeah.
And number 5, probably one of the most famous of our age group, Pat Tillman. There was no greater display of altruism than Pat Tillman's decision following the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks. After serving several tours in combat as an Army Ranger, the linebacker turned safety died in the mountains of Afghanistan. It was later confirmed that friendly fire was the cause of death. A once promising career with the Arizona Cardinals was heroically thrown aside so he could defend his country. So I think everybody in our age group, for the most part, knows, we all know about Pat Tillman. They still talk about him a lot as far as I know. So that's it, though. That's the 5. I'm sure there's several more, but those were the 5 I chose off of a long list of people who, I could go for. So that's it. This Week in Sports History, brought to you by Your Daily Local. Visit yourdailylocal.com for the news you need when you need it. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with Sketty On.
Hey there, everyone. This is Phil with JP Photography. I know. A photography ad on a sports show? I get it. You're here for sports talk and listening to Joe and Sketty's insane rambling.
Wait, what?
But bear with me for a few. I just want to tell you that JP Photography not only offers wedding photography, but also does events, engagements, headshots, family photos, and even some product photography. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for JP Photography or go directly to our website at johnphilphotography.com. That's JONPHIL photography.com.
He's absolute trash.
Sketty On. Let's have a listen to what Sketty's on this week.
0% chance that works.
This week's Sketty On is brought to you by Complete Roofing Systems. The best the business has to offer, matched with the best prices. For your free estimate, find them at crsroofingteam.com or call them at 716-640-4609.
Oh, banner and music. Sorry.
Banner music, yeah.
Snoozing over here. Where are we at? There we go.
All right. You ready?
Ready.
So, as we touched on earlier, this week, Jim Irsay decides to fire Frank Reich and hire Jeff Saturday straight off the street for some reason. And I thought it was only fair after I bitched about what the heck was the name of the Carolina coach, Matt Rule. After he got hosed, having no talent on his team and getting fired, I'm going to say the same for Frank Reich. You gave the guy Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan. I don't even know who the 2 quarterbacks were the year before. Oh, Carson Wentz. I mean, you've given the guy nothing to work with and expect him to win games. Yeah, you probably had to make a move. I get it. But there's no talent. And Irsay has the balls to say in his press conference, I don't know how to make sausage, but I know how to build a winning football team. The fuck you do, pal. You got Peyton Manning and you have Andrew Luck, and that's why you're in the top 4 winningest teams in the last 22 years because you got gifted amazing quarterback play and you still only have 1 fucking Super Bowl to show for it. I mean, it's fucking embarrassing. And then, to make things worse, now I like Jeff Saturday. I really do. I think he's a good job as an announcer. I think given some time to figure this head coaching thing out, he could do it. But you hire a guy off the street to coach your team in the middle of the fucking season. Like, I get that things were bad there and there's no talent on that coaching tree, but what is this guy supposed to do? You are basically punting this whole season away, which was maybe a punt anyway from their start. But
right.
It's just a fucking clown move I know Irsay had some drug problems, alcohol problems before. Maybe he's back on the fucking sauce because none of these moves made a damn bit of sense to me.
Gonna agree with you this week.
Yeah, I don't know how you...
Actually, my first question was, isn't he like an alcoholic?
Yeah, I think he's on something real bad. And he had like a DUI or something.
He has like the red skin tone, the red eyes all the time. Like he has the what do you even want to call it?
I know he was in trouble there for a little bit.
Of an alcoholic. Yeah, I didn't know about the drugs, but I mean, if he's talking about sausages and winning football teams and the Colts all in the same sentence, he's got to be on something.
I could be wrong, but I think that he was like, I think there was like pills on board or something too. Like got a DUI, high on pills, high on booze.
He did get a DUI.
Or drunk on booze. Yeah, like that was the big deal.
Okay.
But I could be wrong about the pills, but I thought that there were pills involved. Either way, I assume he's on some sort of pills from that just wild ass moves and reasoning he gave us. Like it just makes no sense.
Yeah, Jeff Saturday deal really confused me. I was very anxious to listen, and I haven't. I forgot to. I wanted to listen to Pat McAfee's take on this because he loves the Colts organization and he's not afraid to say what's on his mind. So
I actually listened to that earlier, which is kind of the inspiration for this. He said that the Irsay, his press conference, like, so the dude's kind of like an artsy guy, like, I don't know, a songwriter or some shit. I have no idea. Something ridiculous Pat was saying. Irsay.
Oh,
like, I don't know. I have no idea. That's what that, like, he's buddies with songwriters. He said something about it. I don't know. Either way, he said, and I kind of agree with him. Irsay's press conference is getting taken a lot of heat right now, but it really wasn't like that terrible. Like his meaning behind what he was saying wasn't the worst, but I just don't understand the Jeff Saturday hire. Like apparently they've wanted to hire this dude for a couple years. Like they've tried to get him to be their offensive line coach and it just didn't work out for whatever reason. And I don't understand Jeff Saturday. If he wants to be a head coach in the NFL, why are you taking this? Like the team is a freaking train wreck right now. You're stepping into the middle of the season. Like I don't get it.
What was he doing before?
He was an analyst on, I don't know what station, but he was on TV someplace. He was TV analyst.
He just went from zero coaching experience. Nothing.
As far as I understand, yes.
And just you're the head coach of the Colts now.
As far as I know, yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
It makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
All right. Is that all you got?
That's all I got. This week's Sketty Honor is brought to you by Complete Roofing Systems. The best the business has to offer, match with the best prices. For your free estimate, find them at crsroofingteam.com or call them at 716-640-4609.
Going to take a break. We'll be back with the things that sting.
Jones Pest Control, your hometown pest control company servicing residential and commercial properties in Warren and surrounding areas since 2015. Sean and his crew will work tirelessly to keep your home or business free of insects to rodents and everything in between. Contact Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548 and set up an appointment today. And remember, ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control, 814-230-9548.
Checkout means sales and services with 2 locations on Warren's East Side. Their garage at 800 Lexington Avenue not only services cars sold by Means, but has knowledgeable staff and modern state-of-the-art equipment waiting to serve their hometown of Warren. Whatever you need, including alignments, tires, brakes, yearly or enhanced PA inspections, oil changes, and much more. Make your appointment today at 814-723-7191, extension 2.
It's now time for the things that sting. The worst stories in sports, according to Joe.
This edition of the Things That Stings, powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548. It's 814-230-9548. Devin, like ninja, killed a bug in our house yesterday and immediately was like impressed with herself and just like talking to herself in the kitchen. She goes, I wonder if Sean Jones is hiring.
Okay.
It was funny, but I was like, what? I don't know if he is or not. Well, I texted him. He is, turns out. Which we've announced that on here for him before.
Yeah.
People, if you need a job, call up Sean Jones. I say the number on here all the time. Not a hard guy to find. Okay. I'm gonna do some tunes again. I was liking when we do tunes and what did I do though? What was it? Oh, I think it was this one. Kind of dumb. Because that acoustic cinematic tune, too slow.
Really good.
Yeah. So we got some follow-up on a case. The Brian Robinson shooting, right? We did that one. We covered it when it happened.
I think so, yep.
So 2 teenagers were arrested this week in the shooting of Washington Commanders running back Brian Robinson. It happened this past summer in Washington, D.C. The teenagers have been charged in the August 28th attack with assault with intent to rob while armed, the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department said. How there's no attempted murder, don't ask me. One teenager who was 14 at the time and has since turned 15 was arrested Friday. A second teen, a 17-year-old who was 16 during the attack in Northeast D.C., was arrested Wednesday. NBC Washington reported that the suspects tried to take Robinson's Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat, but he scuffled with them, which may have caused them to draw the weapon and shoot at him. The suspects fled the scene in a vehicle without obtaining any property from Robinson, police said in a statement Friday announcing the second arrest. The names of the two were withheld because they're juveniles. It wasn't clear if they had attorneys. A representative of the public defender's office didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. A 14-year-old and a 16-year-old.
Does that surprise you?
In a gun-free zone.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously someone that, registered for their gun gave it to those kids, Joe.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Quite
I mean,
obvious.
that had to have been what happened, right?
Probably bought it at Walmart.
There's no way they obtained them because there's laws strictly prohibiting minors from owning pistols, first of all. And second of all, from carrying them around in D.C. So none of that makes any sense because if there's laws for it, then it should stop them from doing it. Isn't that the way the world works now?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a good one. Listen to this shit. Goran Gogic. How do you think you say that name?
Not even a 10. Goran. Gogic. I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither. Anyways, dude's a former boxer. He's arrested Sunday night at Miami International Airport while trying to board a flight to Switzerland. The charges? According to a press release from the United States DOJ, the Department of Justice, Gogic. What are we calling him? Gogic. Faces charges of maritime narco trafficking, which simply put, according to the DOJ, he is alleged to have used commercial container ships to transport over $1 billion worth of cocaine from Colombia to Europe via the United States. According to the DOJ, over 20 tons of cocaine were seized between May of 2018 and July of 2019. And in February 2019, 1,437 kilos of cocaine were seized from the MSC Carletta at a port of New York and New Jersey. In June of 2019, almost 18,000 kilograms, which is just about 40,000 pounds, was seized from the MSC Gain at the port of Philadelphia. This seizure was one of the largest in United States history. So here's how the conspiracy worked, according to the Department of Justice. Members of the conspiracy loaded the commercial cargo ships at night near the coast and ports, working with crew members who would hoist loads of cocaine from speedboats that approached the ships at multiple points along their route. To physically load the cocaine aboard, they used the ship's cranes as well as nets. Once the cocaine was on board, the crew members would hide it within specific shipping containers that they knew had sufficient room to conceal the large quantities of cocaine, and for which they had duplicate counterfeit seals. They selected the specific containers to be used to conceal the cocaine based in part on the container's location and orientation and route and destination on board the vessel. So this is like a crazy operation.
I want to know how much. What is whatever the number is? 20 tons of cocaine. What's that look like? Is it like the gravel pile that's sitting out by the PennDOT building? like when you open that all up, what's going on there?
Like
that
the guy
like
mulch from who just has piles of mulch in his yard. It's just a pile of cocaine.
That's what I'm saying. Like how much is? That's got to be an absolute fuck ton.
I don't know, man, but
I would think.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking 20 tons. It's what, 40,000 pounds, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So like that would seem like it would be rather hard to smuggle that. Like that's a lot.
Well, they had like all these people in on it, though. It wasn't just, this dude and a couple other people. It's all the workers on these cargo ships. Like they were all in on it, taking a cut of over $1 billion worth of drugs. So Wayne A. Jacobs, the special agent in charge of the FBI Washington Field Office's Criminal and Cyber Division, added this regarding the former boxer. Gogic allegedly conspired with drug suppliers, ships, crew members, and port workers to traffic massive quantities of cocaine through the United States to Europe via commercial cargo ships. So that was like the last note given on that. But yeah, this dude's facing like forever jail. For sure.
I assume so.
He's like a legit drug kingpin. Like he's like El Chapo. Yeah. Like this is
right?
the real deal. So pretty fun. We'll watch how that court plays out. I'm sure. Yeah, apparently. So he was a former pro boxer though. And he blew it. Last one I got. Not much today in the things that sting. Last one I got. Bill Self suspended 4 games. Kansas basketball coach Bill Self and assistant Curtis Townsend on Wednesday were suspended for the first 4 games of the season, and the Jayhawks imposed several recruiting restrictions as part of the fallout from the FBI investigation into college basketball corruption stemming from 2017. Kansas chose to turn its infractions case over to an independent accountability resolution process. Per the release, the school notified the IARP panel of its self-imposed penalties, which also include multiple recruiting sanctions, some of which have already been imposed. Self and Townsend had already been barred from off-campus recruiting visits from April to July of this year. And the school also did not host any recruits at late night in the Fog, its annual Midnight Madness event. The school also will lose 3 scholarships over the next 3 years, cut down its official recruiting visits this year by 4, and reduce the number of permissible recruiting days during the upcoming year by 13 days. So the goal Kansas is trying to reach here is that they do enough that the NCAA doesn't fuck with them. Yep. They're missing some big games too. Like they're gonna miss the Duke game. These the 2 coaches. So I mean, I get that they're trying to get ahead of it, but the thing is, a lot of these violations that they're being dinged with are now legal because it's NIL shit.
Yep.
So I mean, wasn't then, is now. I get it, but so that's basically the gist of those suspensions. But no, that's all I have for the things that sting. There really wasn't.
You forgot the bye week.
Oh shit! I did. I didn't because I usually screenshot stuff.
I can't think of what his first name is.
Who do you play for?
The Giants. Andy's dudes.
Giants. McKinney. Injured, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll pull this up right now.
A large dump.
Here we go. Yeah, so bye week boogie. So that's 2 weeks in a row, right? Are we 2 for 2?
Yep. I didn't have anything last week, but there was only like the Chargers and the Chiefs on bye the week that I was gone.
So Giants Xavier McKinney, unsure if he'll return this season after a freak accident. Where's it at? So he spent his bye week in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, and the defensive signal caller and team captain said the vehicle he was in tilted over during a sightseeing tour. He went to the hospital in Mexico and had surgery upon returning to the United States. So he's got like a fucked up wrist. There's no timeline on the return. He said his hand will be fine, but yeah, there's a possibility that he doesn't see another play this season. So that has to, I mean, that is a freak accident though. Like that's almost not even bye week. If you believe it, yes.
You know that he was fucking around on that 4-wheeler and rolled.
Was it a 4-wheeler? Because it doesn't say that. It says.
Oh yeah, it said ATV in the report I saw.
Oh.
That report just said vehicle, correct?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
The report I saw. What was that? What night did I text you? The football was on. Is that the Sunday night game? Maybe.
Yeah.
Sunday night or Monday night game. I sent you a text and said rolled his ATV.
It doesn't say that in this one. It just says vehicle.
We'll have to do some more research, but I think that's bye week boogie. I think he's fucking around.
Oh, in a Can-Am vehicle. So he's in a side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fucking off for sure.
Yeah.
But he's thanking God that it wasn't anything worse. There wasn't anything reckless going on. It was a freak accident, says Xavier McKinney.
Sure, buddy.
Whatever, man. All right. This edition of the Things That Stings, powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice. Don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548. That's 814-230-9548. We're going to take a quick break, get Chris in here, and then we'll get going with the Ike playoff football talk. Stick around. Blue Line Auto, located at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren, is locally owned and operated and is a family-run business specializing in vehicle sales and service. They offer state and safety inspections and general car repairs, including but not limited to brakes and rotors, tires, oil changes, batteries, starters, and alternators. They also offer vehicle undercoating prior to winter to help keep your vehicle protected. Currently, their hours are Monday through Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Thursday and Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them today to schedule your next appointment at 814-230-9061. Your safety is their goal.
Hi, this is Ryan Klein, the host of the new pop culture podcast, Me, Myself, and Rye. You can find me on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and several other platforms. Special guests, breakaway shows, bonus episodes, cold beers, and a whole lot more. So what are you guys and gals waiting for? Subscribe now to the Me, Myself, and Rye podcast on Spotify or wherever it is that you get your shows and start listening today.
My High, Joe and Sketty's very own world of sports.
My Hive is presented by Blue Line Auto. For all your automotive needs, call Blue Line Auto at 814-230-9061 or stop in at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. All right, I think we got him. Chris, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, there he is. So, ladies and gentlemen, joining us again for the second time. Is this time number 2?
Yeah.
Eisenhower Knight, Chris Bunk. Crowd goes wild. There we go. All right, so Chris, thanks for jumping on with us. Appreciate you like always. Friend of the show.
Having me.
What that logo is behind your left shoulder there, but I'm not into it. Not liking it.
I was going to say the same thing. Got some garbage back there. You got to clean up, bud.
Is that like is that your bedroom or a man cave?
This is my bedroom.
Oh, that's pretty slick. That looks like a man cave. So I'm digging it.
There's a lot going on in the walls.
I see some flash. You got a fucking disco ball in there, or what is that flashing around?
That's a traffic light.
Okay.
Where'd you steal it from?
It was a gift.
Mm-hmm. I'll be giving you a shout when I get to work tomorrow to look into that a little bit further. DPW has been looking for you, Chris. All right. So, yeah, Chris, thanks for jumping on. Big game Saturday, right?
Yeah.
How we feeling?
We're excited. I'm excited myself.
Played them already once. Took it to them a little bit. What was it, like a 13-point win?
Yeah.
So, feeling any effects of losing Wyatt, or are we still cruising? We think everybody's head straight. We're still good.
We definitely miss him, but we think everyone's head straight. Cam stepped up a bit. Derek Childs, he stepped up a bit in the wide receiver spot. So our heads are straight.
What kind of crowd are you anticipating at the game this Saturday?
I'm hoping for a big crowd.
Well, I can tell you this, and I don't know if it means anything or not, but that post that I did put up, that Sketty and I were like, let's throw one up to try and, just remind people about the game, try and get people there. So on those posts, because it's a business page, we can check the insights. It's reached over 15,000 people.
Holy cow.
So I'm not saying that means 15,000 people are going to be there, but what I'm saying is that they, at least 15,000 people have observed that post on Facebook. So it doesn't mean they're all from around here or whatever, but and it had a bunch of shares too. I mean, I could pull it up. I'm not sure what the number ended up being, but it was like 120 last I looked at it. So hopefully people come out. I know the weather's probably not going to be great, but that's football, right?
Yeah.
that doesn't deter me at all. There's Rita Rudolph, who's a good friend of the show. She's always listening, commenting and stuff. She said, if it's not raining, I'll be there. I was like, we can bring you an umbrella, Rita. I have several of those. We golf in that shit. So
it's just supposed to be cold. There's supposed to be no rain. Just supposed to be a little bit cold.
No rain now? I haven't even looked because it doesn't matter. I'm going to be there anyway. I knew either way, we're showing out. So hopefully big crowd. I know we have an escort planned. You're aware of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I saw that on the Facebook group today.
So they're getting the paddy wagons out to escort these boys down to the field. It's going to be exciting. How did it end up being at Warren? Or do you have any idea about that?
Maybe because we're the 1 seed. I don't know for sure.
But it has to be like a neutral site. So do they just pick one that's closer to you?
I'd assume so. I think Jeff White helped us out a little bit there too.
Excellent.
Because he's on the committee.
So scouting wise, what are we looking at? What type of game you think we're going to see?
Running by us and passing by them, probably.
Is that how it went last time?
Our usual game. Yeah.
Our usual game. Yeah, actually, I was thinking about it early in the season when we were like doing local shout outs and we started, bringing Eisenhower football into the mix. Sketty, I'm pretty confident that this was one of the games that you were like, their run defense was stupid. Like they didn't, what you remember what I'm talking about?
I went and watched them play. Who'd you guys play for homecoming? Seneca. Yeah. And I had said, I was like, man, they just they pack the box and they basically say, all right, if you guys want to just run 2 go routes, we're not putting any safety help. Take your chance. And that's what Seneca did. They exposed you a little bit. And then you guys figured it out, little halftime adjustments and took it to them. But the first half, that was all their success, was running the go routes. And, I was just shocked to see you guys playing press coverage up on those guys. I was like, whoa, there's not one safety help, not give them a little cushion. That seems like second half, then you guys backed off a little bit and kind of neutralized that.
Yeah, we're looking to stop Cambridge's run early and then stop their pass when they go to that eventually.
Yeah.
Who's their bright spots on their team? Do you know?
They got a couple of good receivers. Their quarterback isn't awful. Lines, I think our line's bigger than theirs, but yeah, they're athletic.
So this is was that a non-conference game when you played them, or are they in your conference?
They're not in our region, no.
Not in your region, yeah, whatever they call it.
They're in the West region with like Reynolds and Cochranton, Maplewood, Lakeview.
Okay. So you played them non-region matchup. Did you guys play Reynolds?
No.
But not putting any bad juju out into the world or anything like that, but isn't that the matchup that people are anticipating?
Yeah, we're also anticipating that matchup.
Well, I like your confidence going against Cambridge Springs, but I also, like I said, I'm hoping that we give you guys a big, huge home field advantage because I'm hoping, and I have talked to a lot of people who are going, so I do think it's gonna look. I mean, those bleachers ain't huge, a little bit bigger than Eisenhower's, but I think they're gonna look busy. They're gonna look busy.
That's what we're hoping for.
So, have you applied for any jobs recently?
Believe it or not, I have.
Oh, why don't you tell us a little bit about that? I might, maybe if I know somebody, I can help you out.
Well, Peppermill, I heard they were hiring, so I went and filled out a job application there.
We are hiring. We'll be giving you.
I went to the Y, but hoping for Peppermill.
We'll be giving you a call after you get this football thing figured out.
Okay.
We're not doing any interviews and distracting from the playoff run here.
See, I tried to.
As soon as you guys are out, soon as you guys are out, I'll be giving you a call. We'll get something set up.
You mean as soon as they're done with the state championship?
Well, that's fine too. Yeah, whatever. As soon as the season's over, we'll say.
That's a way better way to put that. You can't be saying as soon as you guys are out.
Well, You're out with the championship.
Chris, do you want to work for a boss who has that type of negativity?
If he brings down the chocolate milk prices, I will.
Oh, geez. Here we go. Here we go. That means your wage goes down.
Listen, it sounds like Chris did some research before he applied for the job, so that's a good thing. He's showing
that's a good
he's
thing.
taking the initiative. He's showing that he's interested in the business and wants to get to know things. So he looked over the menu, noticed a high price on chocolate milk. Might have heard me bitch about it a time or two. Either way,
a couple times.
I think it's a solid move. You get a gold star for that, Chris. Anytime you are applying for a job, you want to research the company, go into that interview knowing some stuff. So you're off to the right.
Listen to you. You should listen to you complain a little bit on the podcast.
It's not me, Chris. It's the world. It's Warren County. It's anybody who's ever stepped foot in that place. Chocolate milk prices are ridiculous.
They are.
Sketty, anything else you want to throw out about the game?
How are we feeling about after practice this week? You guys had what, kind of like an off week last week almost? Take us through the 2 week prep.
We had like a recovery week last week. A lot of yoga and team like stretching, a little bit of lifting, and then going through like defense and offense. This week is a lot more high profile and like strict, I guess.
Okay. Did you guys do any prep for like both teams, or were you just on a like we're gonna wait and see who wins this game, or did you think Cambridge was gonna win the game and were you planning for this or kind of a surprise?
We were planning for both teams. I mean, we had scout film on both teams, so we were watching that throughout the week last week, and then just going over a little bit of both.
Okay.
Who did Cambridge Springs play?
Mercer.
And what was the score of that game? Do we know? Anybody?
I don't know, honestly.
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Was it a close game? Was it a blowout? Do we know that?
It wasn't that close.
Okay. All right. Well, good. So last week you said yoga?
Yeah.
I've tried that a few times.
I find it difficult.
I had to call off work the next day. Couldn't golf for a month. Never doing yoga again. Long story short. I don't move in those directions, but Chris is young and nimble. So, so game plan, you said you guys are just going to play your game and try and go at them the same way you did last time. Is that pretty much what it comes down to here?
Yep.
What time do the gates open? Does anybody know that?
Game's at 7, so
probably like 5:36ish.
So we had requests to do a live show down there. I just don't believe that we would have the internet power to support an actual like show like this, unless we got a spot like up in the box somewhere, like wherever your Daily Local's broadcasting from or whatever. But I think there's a possibility. I'm going to see how things go. Is maybe I'll do a pregame Facebook Live or something like that. If we get there a little early, I want to make sure that the crowd is good. And the pig pen, are they going to be in full force or what?
They better be.
You think is that the talk? I mean, is everybody ready to go? Was there a pep rally this week or anything like that?
They're doing a bonfire on Friday night for us.
All right, well, get to bed early.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No pissing
Luckily,
around.
it gets dark early. They can have the bonfire at 5:30.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good call. They can do it early. So yeah, you're in bed by 9. That's my rule. So I don't know if the rest of your team's going to listen to me, but you had better. Need you fresh. Need everybody ready to roll. So we'll all be there. I bought myself a new Eisenhower Knights hoodie. I found it I got a hold of Aunt Debbie. You know my Aunt Debbie.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Got a hold of Aunt Debbie. I said, where can I get? I wanted a Knights football shirt or hoodie, but she was like, I don't know where to get one of those, but you can get Eisenhower Knights merch down at Dollar General in Russell. I was like, hell yeah. So I went down there and bought a few things. So We'll be
Walmart
ready.
used to have it. I was looking a couple weeks ago. Couldn't find it at Walmart.
You're right. Walmart did have it.
Dunham's had it
too.
for a while too. Yeah.
And I couldn't find it. I went in there the other day. I couldn't find anything. But they
see
also move shit around every time I'm in there, and I don't know where
Sure.
I'm looking. And I usually get too frustrated, and then I just look at the golf shoes, and then I leave because I'm mad. So
That is
I'll have to
exactly
see
what
if I can.
just look at the golf shoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just always like to see what they got. I think I've only ever bought one pair, but I've looked at that selection at least 50 times. Yeah, just walk straight in.
Look at the putters, the drivers.
See, I got this old. What do I have? Odyssey, and I like it. So I'm hanging on to that bad boy. No reason to upgrade yet. Plus, it's got the fancy back where I can flip the ball up nice and easy. It's not difficult. I don't have to, bend over as much. Like I said, yoga doesn't. It all ties in together. But all right, Chris. Well, we'll be there supporting you. Best of luck to you and your team. Hopefully, we're marching on to the second round after Saturday night, and I hope the crowd, gets there like the amount of attention that post got. I'm thinking we're in good shape, so I'm really hoping that you guys get a good turnout. Like I said, a lot of people I've spoke to plan on going, so hopefully everybody keeps up with that and gets there. It's not like there's much else going on. Daylight savings time puts everybody in a bad mood. Playoff football puts you back in a good mood.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where we're going. All right, Chris, anything else before you go?
Get your tickets online.
Oh, yes. Somebody,
done.
Yeah, I already got mine too, but somebody did post that in the comments. I should have shared that link. In fact, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll share that link just in case somebody hasn't seen it, but I'm hoping that they have. But by now, anyways. But can you, if I walked up to the gate and I didn't have tickets, could I just go online and buy them now? Can I do that? Can I go online at the gate, purchase 2, and then they scan my phone?
I wouldn't see why not.
As long as they're not sold out.
Because you can use your phone for the tickets, right? You don't have to.
That's what you're supposed to. Yeah, I was gonna just do that.
Well,
yeah, it's like a pro game. They just got the scanners.
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
I think so.
Wow, technology with the old PDI-AA. So, all right. Well, yeah, I'll post that link. I'll make sure I get that out there. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And well, maybe next week we do it again, talking about the next round. So go out there, play hard, and bring back the dubs.
Will do.
All right. Take care. Go Knights.
Yep. Thank you.
Good kid.
Yep.
Can't believe he wants to work for you.
him and Touchdown Tommy, they'll be down there.
I know.
Maybe that's what he's trying to do. Maybe he's trying to recruit Touchdown Tommy.
You're building some type of football team down there is what it sounds like.
All I'm saying is the Cornerstone Snakes better watch out.
Yeah, right. You're recruiting guys who will not be playing flag football in Warren.
Peppermint Panthers here in about 3 years. We're gonna have this squad together.
I'll be retired by then for sure. All right, time to get into 3-bagger. Is that where we're at?
Yep.
All right, let's let her rip. We got a recap. Do we want tunes? Did we do tunes last week? Feeding the ducks.
I didn't do any tunes last
week. Night
week.
driving. I wasn't there last week.
Yeah, you're the tunes guy.
I'm into it. I like it. Gives us a nice little mellow vibe to the conversation. This is called night driving. I got to put the loop on though. Okay. Before we get into the 3-bagger, I did want to bring up, since we're in the sports betting portion of the show, Mattress Mac, $75 million, largest payout in sportsbook history in the United States.
Well, you know what he does, right? Have you read about this?
He had to space it out through different sports books, right?
Yeah, but so apparently what he does is he hedges his bet, where he's like, all right, if the Astros win the World Series, he owns mattress stores around Houston.
Yeah.
All the mattresses are on me. So
right.
He takes whatever money and he hedges his bet. So if he sells X amount of dollars in mattresses, he bets that on Houston to win. So if Houston wins and he has to give away the free mattresses, he's made his money back. If Houston loses, oh, well, he's just got the money he made on the mattresses. Is what I understand. I heard about this before.
You're correct. He's done it every year that they've been in the World Series.
Yeah.
But I love the dude. I'd like to meet him. Big gambler. Big old gambler. Huge Astros fan.
That's a hell of a payday. I'm assuming he didn't make that much on mattresses, so he did well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in Houston. You never know.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, 3-bagger review. Last week, so Andy got to do some picks last week. Andy picked the Dolphins -5 versus the Bears, the Vikings -3.5 versus the Commanders, the Bucks -3 versus the Rams, and he came in with a scorching 0-2-1 record.
Not bad.
Way to come out firing, Andy. Andy's new to sports betting, so he gets forgiven.
He said that, yeah.
Yeah, he is. He texts me about it once in a while, and he doesn't ask me for pointers, which maybe he should, because I'm 16-10-1 now. Although I did have a
you had a bad week 2 weeks ago. We both got
housed.
Yeah.
Those happen. But let's see, last week you went Dolphins, Jags, and Bills. So you went 1-2 last week.
Got the Jags covered? Or the Jags they won, right?
They won outright.
Yeah,
they covered. Yeah, they were dogs and they won outright.
Yeah. Yeah, Bills lost 2 times in a row. Fuck them.
Yes.
Never bet in Buffalo again.
So the Titans, I had the Titans 12.5, which you guys made fun of me for.
Yeah.
Clear cover, almost won. Panthers, which you guys made fun of me for, got smoked. And the Seahawks, which you guys agreed with me on, they won outright. So I went 2-1 last week. Moves me to 16-10-1. Sketty.
Well under 500 now.
13-14.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was worse than that. All right, not bad. I thought it was well under 500.
No, you're 13-14. It's not bad.
Hey,
lock of the week, still 6-2.
Lock of the week is good. Tough one. It was a tough one this week.
Let's get into them. Sketty riding the Seahawks +3 at the Bucks.
Yeah, I just don't think the Bucks are very good. I think the Seahawks are a little bit overrated, but I think the Bucks are just that bad. Gino's got a little magic in him. I'm just hoping the Bucks didn't get a little momentum from beating the dog shit Rams. And I have a loser on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. You just never know how to take Brady, and betting against Brady has been an all-time backfire for the last 20 years. So it's tough. It is. That's a tough one. But Seahawks are playing good football. But you're right. The Bucks may be a little bit inspired.
Yeah.
That final drive carries some momentum into next week. Who the hell knows? First pick for me, riding my boys. Five straight covers against the spread. The Titans.
Yep.
5 straight. I'm going to take them again. They're at home. I'm assuming Tannehill is going to play this week simply because he was a game-time decision last week. Malik Willis.
Might be better with Malik back there.
No, they are not. That is the biggest crock of shit you've ever said in your entire life. He's not ready.
I'm really interested to see. This was a barf game for me. I just didn't want to touch it because I think the Broncos run defense is like quietly good.
They just traded their best player.
Well, I mean, he's pass rusher. I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know about this one.
I think Tannehill's back. I do believe Tannehill's back. That changes things because if he's throwing 15, 16 times a game, that's when he's most effective. And, if all it takes is Henry to gash a few big runs and that passing game opens right up. So I just think the Broncos stink, and the Titans are at home. They got a lot of momentum going in their favor. So I'm going to keep riding them. 5 straight wins. Why wouldn't I? 5 straight wins against the spread also, not just winning the football games.
They lost this week, so 5 straight wins is not true. But against the spread.
Right. 5 straight wins against the spread is what I meant. So Browns at Dolphins -3.5.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins are going to shithouse the Browns. I just really firmly believe they can put up the points that the Browns can't put up. I mean, the Browns are going to really have to rely on that run game and keep the ball out of Tua's hands because Tyreek Hill is just absolute fucking stud.
So
Jalen Waddles look like an absolute stud. Which I mean, when you have Tyreek, it's quite obvious when you have Tyreek Hill on the other side of whoever, it makes everyone's life a lot easier because you have to protect over the top.
But it's Jalen Waddle, and he was moving and trending toward a number one receiver himself before Tyreek even got there.
Yeah, see, I think that got a little overrated last year. He caught a lot of balls. I mean, he's a good receiver. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know that I would say he's a pure number one. I feel like he's almost.
He's trending that way. I didn't say he was.
Better. He's better than Juju. This isn't the Antonio Brown Juju situation where he's only good because Hill's there. But I mean, Hill being over there helps him a ton. But I just don't think the Browns are going to be able to score with these guys. I think the Dolphins are going to blow this game out.
I hate Juju, but you know what I'm starting to like about him?
What he hasn't TikToked, and
well, I don't know that because I don't have TikTok. I'm assuming he still TikToks, but
if he has, no one talks about it. That's the only way.
What I'm starting to like about him is that every time he has a good game for the Chiefs, he says something bad about the Steelers. It's like 3 weeks in a row he's had 100 yards or close, and he just immediately. Like, they're like, so, Juju, how was the game? And he's like, fuck Pittsburgh.
Like, so the same thing that you hated on A.J. Brown for, you love Juju for doing, just because it's the Steelers.
Because it's the Steelers, yes.
All right,
I respect him for it. I don't think he's like, he's being a bitter bitch. I'm not, like, disputing that. Like, he's being Hopkins. He's being AJ Brown. Yeah, the bitter ex-girlfriend. Give me my hoodie back. Cry me a river. Like, you moved on. They moved on from you. You haven't moved on from them is essentially what it is. But it's hilarious because it's Juju. He's an idiot. And he just dogs Pittsburgh. And I just think that that's really funny because he was so beloved there. And everybody thought he was so great. And then his last year there, nobody liked him all of a sudden. You remember, like, when his bike got stolen and everybody was like, oh, GoFundMe, get him a new bike or whatever. Like, it was just, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my next one. Lions +3 at the Bears. I think the Lions.
I'm interested here.
I am too. I just think it's going to be close. I don't know that the Lions win, but I could see this being a 1 or 2 point game somehow because it's just two teams that are just a wild card every week. If it was the Bears getting points, I would probably like that too. Like it's just kind of whoever's getting the points here. I think it's in favor of. The Bears don't really have a clear-cut home field advantage unless it's monsooning.
Well, that's true.
Shut up. But I like the Lions. I think that they can put up points. Like they really can put some points on the board. They give up a ton too, but that's what I mean. Is if it's
this
back
could be
and forth.
This could be a big game stack for my daily fantasy DraftKings lineup. Stack the Lions. Give me Justin Fields and a bunch of Lions. Yeah,
it really could. I could see it going that way. But division game. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the Lions here. Something about it. Cowboys at Packers. Sketty taking the Pack +5.
I know this. I thought this would shock some people a little bit.
It is.
But
I'm
tell you what,
shocked.
I think Aaron Rodgers is pissed off after losing to the fucking Lions last week. I don't think the Cowboys are that good. These are two teams that I've hated. So I thought to myself, what am I going to do? The Packers at home getting 5 points against this Cowboys team. I've got no worries about this. I think this is my best feeling bet of the week. I think the Cowboys are complete pretenders. I think the Packers are going to come back strong this week, and I think they're going to do some damage.
I have no interest. I want to watch this game, but no betting interest at all in this game. None.
Okay, gotcha.
I could see your point, but I could also see the Cowboys just shitting on the Packers. Their injury list is like 15 or 16 deep right now.
They are banged up.
They're
Gary's
banged
out.
up.
Yes.
Gary's
out. Dub's out. Yep.
I seen Matt. I seen Ramage posting today, and he's like, "People, the strength and conditioning coach is getting fired. Is not going to heal these people from injury." Packers fans are all pissed off at the strength and conditioning coaches because their injury reports like 15 deep.
It's like, dear Packers fans, this is what the 49ers have dealt with for like 5 straight years. Like, welcome to my fucking life.
I mean, in a way, like, you know how I am about the Packers. They're my secret crush. I support them. I always cheer for them unless they're playing the Bills. But something I've noticed in going on with Ramage and following a few Packers pages and stuff is their fans have been spoiled because they are
super spoiled. Yeah,
they are not handling losing very well.
No, not at all.
Which understandably so. I mean, if the Bills were like great for 20 years or however, whatever, longer than that, 25, 30 years, they've been pretty competitive almost every year. Like if that was Buffalo and they had a bad year, I'd probably just like subconsciously start making weird excuses too, like blame the strength and conditioning coaches.
Yeah, I mean, I also think there's a level of expectation and you get to that point where your team's in contention every year. So like when you're bad, you're just like, I know for me with the Niners, like even though they've had some good stretches in my life, they've also had some like worst team in the NFL stretch in my life. And it just like when they're good, it's just you're that expectation of, 500 season, 6-win season just is not something you want to, like, you might as well just blow it up. Like, if we're not going to make the playoffs, if we're not going to compete, blow this whole fucking thing up and let's make changes and get back to where we should be.
Right.
It's not how it works, but that's how you feel.
Well, no, it's somewhat how it works. It just doesn't always work out that way. Because I watched the Bills blow it up and start over 15 times.
Yeah.
And finally, Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane came along, and that was, now I think we're good for a little while anyway. Speaking of the Bills.
Oh, Joe.
Yep. Here's my reason, because I don't care I don't care who starts at quarterback for Buffalo in this game. And I don't care that it's a 1 o'clock out of the spotlight game where Kirk Cousins can hide and play well. First of all, I think Josh Allen's playing. And I think he's going to play through that injury just fine because he's, despite what a lot of people want to say who don't watch him a lot, and they're just like, he runs too much, he's going to get hurt. Josh Allen is a tough son of a bitch. He's tough. He's mentally tough. He's growing mentally tougher. He wasn't mentally tough at the beginning of his career, I don't think. He had some meltdowns. Never to the press, but on the field, you could just see it. And he's come a long way there. And I do think he's going to play. And I can tell you this. When Josh Allen was, like, when this line opened and there was no Josh Allen elbow factored into it, do you know what the line opened at?
It had to be significantly more.
9.5.
Yeah, see, and I still think I would have took the Vikings at 9.5.
I'm not saying I would have taken them at 9.5. I'm just telling you what Vegas is saying it's at everybody's fresh. This is who we're going. I suspect Poyer will be back this week. Milano will be back this week. Those were two key players who were missing from the defense last week. And it's glaringly obvious that Buffalo needs those guys on the field. They really do. I think that's part of the run issue. I think Milano going out last week against Green Bay with the oblique was part of the run issue. So I think they come back. They're going to be a little more healthy this week than they were last week. Even with after Allen's injury, which, he didn't go out, but when that play happened, the very next play, he hucked the ball 70 yards. Some people were like, well, it was adrenaline. It was no, it wasn't. He can play through shit. He's a tough kid and he's got a rocket for an arm. Now, is he going to be airing it out like that? Or are we going to see a little bit different kind of approach from the Bills, which is possible?
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to just rest Allen this week. If it's even kind of close, you're putting Allen on the bench.
If they put Allen on the bench, Case Keenum, revenge game. I'll swallow the points.
I just can't. I just can't. After what we've seen this Bills offense look like for the last 3-4 weeks, not that the offense has been bad, but
they played fine 2 weeks ago against Green Bay. 27 points.
Yeah, against Green Bay's defense. Like I don't. This offense hasn't looked elite. If you're telling me Case Keenum has to come in, I would go Vikings. But I stayed away from this game simply because I think it just wildly changes whether Allen plays or whether he doesn't. If Allen doesn't play, I like the Vikings. if Allen does play, I think 3.5 is a gift. You're gonna bank a bunch of money.
If Allen does play, I'm anxious to kind of like just as soon as they announce it, hop on the app and see what that line goes to.
It should shoot up, but I just don't think it would be. Again, if it's at all close, I don't know the inside medical information on this, but if it's at all close, you're going to make the playoffs as the Bills. Why risk Allen doing something more to that elbow?
Like in a non-conference game.
Yeah, a non-conference game. It's a UCL. If he messes that up, you might not only lose him for this season, you might lose him for part of next season. This is a team that's ready to win now. I think they err on the side of caution in this game. I really would be surprised if he's.
And that's why I think we'll know how serious, or we'll know the level of seriousness that it is when they make that announcement.
Yeah,
because they said he might miss one game. If he does miss one game, I think it's still not so bad, but they're resting him. And I think if he plays, then it's okay. It really wasn't all that bad at all. And and he's okay. He's playing.
But if I'm coaching that team, if I'm in that team's management, somebody has to tell me there's literally no issue. It was whatever, just a sore thing. Like if you're telling me, there's still a little.
I mean, that's what they called it. They're saying it was an elbow sprain.
But I mean, if Allen comes to you and you're McDermott, you're coaching Sunday, and he comes to you Saturday and says, "Coach, I'm good to go. I got a little soreness, but I'm good to go. Let me play." If I'm McDermott, I'm saying, "Nope, sit your ass on the bench, Josh."
Yeah, I'd probably do that too.
I'm not throwing the season away because
because you want to play through a little soreness.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not worth it.
Come to me when you have no soreness.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Last one, Sketty's lock of the week.
This is the toughest lock of the week I think I've had to pick. I've been pretty odd with these games.
Yeah, I mean, this would be an interesting one.
Yeah, I really honestly think Niners at home, coming off the bye week. Debo's supposed to be back. Juszczyk's supposed to be back. Who else?
The Chargers kind of stink.
The Chargers kind of stink. The Niners have a great run defense. Eckler, he might catch some passes, but this run defense is tough. Yeah. Oh, Eli Mitchell's supposed to be back for this. So this team, if all these guys do come back and can contribute, I mean, I don't even know. The Chargers defense is absolutely god awful against the run.
Which
load your teams up with all
the fact that their defense is bad makes no sense.
Yeah, well, they're just piss poor against the run. I don't know if they're that bad against the pass, but I'm just thinking McCaffrey, Mitchell, Debo, these guys are going to fucking feast on this offense, or on this defense, and I really think they're going to cover this.
What time is that game?
I believe it's. Oh, is it the Sunday night game this week?
Oh, that'd be sweet.
I think it's a Sunday night game this week, I believe.
Yeah, I have to look. I don't know, but
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I have FanDuel.
Maybe I'll pal up with you for that one.
Yeah, let me know because we should be. Let's see.
It is a Sunday night game.
Yeah. Let me know.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's
all right.
That'll be a good one.
That's a wrap. It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Thank
back.
you.
I like just reacting.
Yeah.
I don't have to work. I just react.
Yeah, I know. I got the writing done pretty quick today too, though. I think we're just it all gets smoother.
It's easier,
All right, real quick. Thank the sponsors: Swing Juice, Busch Light, Napoli, Your Daily Local, JP Photography, Mean Sales and Service, Jones Pest Control, Me, Myself, and Rye Podcast, Blue Line Auto, and Complete Roofing Systems. Thank you all. Thank everybody who listened. Thank you. Special thank you to Chris Bunk coming on and chopping it up with us a little bit, letting us ask him some stupid questions. He answers them politely. I'm surprised he likes us. He's way too nice.
Yeah, correct. True.
He's a very, very nice kid. Oh, he does make fun of you, which I like that. So.
Well, yeah. Who doesn't?
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe someone would be original and make fun of you.
You guys made fun of me like the whole show last week.
Well, yeah,
And I wasn't even there to defend myself. See, I do it to you right here.
Me and Andy found a common bond, and you're going to ruin that right now?
Didn't he say, maybe we have more in common than we thought? Somebody said that. It was pretty funny. But, thank you, everybody, for jumping on. Make sure if you're listening, give the episode a like, a heart, or a angry if you hate Sketty. All of those help us, get more exposure and get the show out there a little bit. So we appreciate you guys when you do that. Again, it's like, love, no wows, no sad, just like, love, or angry face if you think Sketty's ugly. Just put that on there. All right. Next week, we'll see how this Saturday goes. Maybe Chris Bunk be back next week. We'll talk about the next week's matchup, but one week at a time. We can't distract his focus. So he'll be in bed by 9 Friday night, just like the rest of the nights. Till next week, everybody take care. Be safe.